Seven & I denies reports that it will reject Couche-Tard's acquisition proposal. Family Express is erecting its first modularized convenience store prototype, and Target was hit the hardest by a national boycott last week against retailers who reversed course on their diversity, equity, and inclusion. Welcome to Retail Daily, your quick look at the top news from supermarket news and CSP Daily News. I'm CSP Senior Editor Hannah Hammond.
And I'm CSP Editor Chuck Yulee. Global retailer 7 & I Holdings, the parent company of the 7-Eleven convenience store chain, is denying reports that it plans to reject rival global convenience retailer Alimentation Couche-Tard's $47 billion acquisition proposal. Shares of 7 & I fell 12% Tuesday following a report that it would reject the $47 billion takeover offer. 7 & I, in a notice regarding the media reports, said it remains committed to exploring all opportunities, including the proposal from Couche-Tard, and that it is engaging constructively with Couche-Tard.
Family Express is erecting its first modularized convenience store prototype in Ligonier, Indiana. The Valparaiso, Indiana-based C-store retailer is in the process of executing $100 million in development with new-to-industry stores, with several starting this spring throughout Indiana. The company expects to meet this aggressive new development schedule with its new prototype masonry buildings, which it said can be prefabricated and assembled in a matter of a few days. The new construction method will deliver approximately 7,200 square foot masonry buildings with a full kitchen and car wash.
Target was hit the hardest by a national boycott last week against retailers who reversed course on their diversity, equity, and inclusion, according to reporting by Forbes. The retailer experienced a 9% drop in web traffic on the day of the boycott. Meanwhile, Costco, which announced it was sticking by its DEI initiatives earlier this year, was the beneficiary of the shopper strike on February 28th. The warehouse retailer had a 22% rise in web traffic on February 28th, from 2.4 million February 14th to 2.9 million.
In other Target news, the retailer kicked off its quarterly earnings call on Tuesday, talking about a reinvigorated strategy, one that is more attentive and focused on delivering a bigger assortment of goods more swiftly. It may be a needed shift as the Minneapolis-based retailer has found itself on a streak of soft quarterly earnings, and the fourth quarter was not much different. Grocery was an area of growth for Target during the entire fiscal year, but overall fourth quarter results were modest as comparable sales were up 1.5% year over year.
Billy Kohlmeyer, Vice President of Marketing and Brand at Stinker Stores, has left the convenience store chain for another opportunity elsewhere in the channel. Kohlmeyer said that February 28th was his final day at the Boise, Idaho-based retailer. He is not yet saying where his new job is.
Trade wars between the U.S. and its biggest trade partners, China, Canada, and Mexico, kicked off on Tuesday with President Donald Trump imposing substantial tariffs on the three countries. Canada and Mexico now face a 25% tariff on all goods imported into the U.S., and China received an additional 10% tariff, doubling the import tax imposed a month ago. Leaders in all three countries have threatened retaliatory tariffs on goods imported from the U.S., and China has filed a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization. The tariffs have both retailers and consumers worried, with 80% of shoppers saying they are concerned about the impact it will have on their finances, according to a survey by data analytics company Numerator.
Walgreens Boots Alliance may soon be taken private in a $10 billion deal with private equity firm Sycamore Partners. The deal could be finalized as early as Thursday. Discussions have revolved around Sycamore paying between $11.30 and $11.40 per share in cash.
The board of managers of Quality Oil has named Don McIver as president and CEO following the retirement of Graham Bennett. McIver is a more than 15-year veteran of Winston-Salem, North Carolina-based Quality Oil, most recently serving as executive vice president of finance. He will continue to serve in that role while the company reevaluates the position and searches for a replacement. McIver joined the company in July 2009.
Applegreen president of U.S. Travel Plaza Operations Zach Callias has left the convenience store retailer. Callias said on LinkedIn that February 28th was his last day with Applegreen and the division that he led for 2 years. Callias did not say why he left Applegreen.
Modern oral tobacco increased units 44% year over year in 2024 and now makes up nearly 6% of total tobacco dollar sales, according to a new report from Circana. According to Circana data from the convenience channel for the 52-week period ending December 29th, smokeless tobacco represents growth of 13.5%, capturing 14.4% of the total category of dollar sales.
Albertsons Companies announced Monday afternoon that Executive Vice President and COO Susan Morris will succeed Vivek Sankaran as CEO upon his retirement from the role on May 1st. She will also replace Sankaran on the Albertsons Board of Directors. The announcement comes just a few hours after Kroger Chairman and CEO Rodney McMullen suddenly resigned from his position, following a board investigation into McMullen over alleged misconduct.
Public supermarket sales were up 5.5% to $15.5 billion in the fourth quarter and 4.6% to $57.1 billion for the full year ended December 28th, the Lakeland, Florida-based grocery chain reported Monday. While not publicly traded and only available to store employees, the company's stock price jumped more than 6% on Saturday to $19.20 per share. And that will do it for today's episode of Retail Daily. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more for your daily dose of retail news. For more on these stories, visit CSP Daily News and supermarketnews.com. I'm Hannah Hammond.
And I'm Chuck Yulee. Have a great day.